What's up, YouTube? It is your boy JB, and we're here today with the review for Sistas Season 3, Episode 15. This episode is titled Unknown Caller. Alright, you guys, so before we get into this review, if you guys are watching this video or any other on the channel and are not yet subscribed to the channel, then I'm going to need you guys to do me a huge favor. Stop taking me out on this date and hit that, stop taking me out on a date, having me pay for it at the end of it. Hit that subscribe button, the like button, share the video, and with that, and notifications on, you guys. So, with that out the way, without further ado, let's discuss Sistas. Previously on Tyler Perry's Sistas. Shout out to Misha for that one. I love when she does that. Let's get into the review. Alright, you guys. So this episode, we pick up where we left. So you guys remember last week's episode, I told you that it cut off, so I didn't see what happened at the end of it. So when Aaron and Karen got into it, she called him by Zach's name. Ooh, Aaron, you're looking real dumb, my boy. So she's like, oh my God, Aaron, I am so sorry. I did not mean to call you by Zach's name. So then he says, you're thinking about him. No, I'm not thinking about Zach. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. You really should have told Aaron to leave. I mean, you knew that you called Zach. You should have just said, Aaron, it's not a good time tonight. Like, I've been thinking about Zach and I just can't get Zach off my mind. So it might not be a good night for me and you. But she didn't do that. I will say one thing. Aaron is, as much as I can't stand Karen, Aaron is just as annoying, right? They're both annoying characters. So Aaron's like, you know what? That's very interesting, right? Because I thought the other night, faintly when we were, in bed, that I thought you called out Aaron's name. Zach's name. He says, did you? She says, no. He says, are you sure? Well, not really. So he tells her, you know what? You talk to Zach and figure that out. And until then, you don't call me. I'm like, oh, he's giving an ultimatum. Okay, whatever. So then we see Preston, right? So Preston is at Danny's house. So I guess after they did the do, he spent the night. So he's getting ready to go to work, right? So Danny wants him to get back in bed with her. He's like, can't do that. I got to get to work, Danny. So she says, are you going to come back tonight? He says, I'll see you later. She's like, when? He's like, this weekend. She's like, this weekend? He was like, yeah, you want space, so I'm going to give you some space. So then he tells her that, he's going to look for his own place. He wants to find a place kind of close to where his job is, right? But she wants him to come back tonight. See, that's my issue when it comes to Danny. I think Danny needs to learn how to effectively communicate with Preston what she wants and what she doesn't want. It's one thing to say, hey, I don't want to see you every day. There's nothing wrong with that. That's fine, right? But I don't want to see you infrequently, right? It's just Danny needs to learn how to vocalize what she wants. And once she's able to do that, I think she'll be in a better space, right? But let's move on, you guys. All right, you guys. So this next scene, I don't really know how to tell it to you guys because it was a bunch of nothing. So you guys remember the night before that Maurice and the bartender, they went out to dinner, right? So the bartender, he spent the night with Maurice and they were having the most awkward conversation. I don't even know what they were talking about. I have no idea what they were talking about, keeping it real with you. Now, Maurice did notice that Calvin had left that food out that he cooked for Sabrina, right? But the bartender, they slept together, right? Well, they didn't sleep together. They slept in the same bed together. So I'm like, oh. So they didn't have sex. I'm like, oh, y'all must be the same. I'm like, okay, y'all must be... okay, y'all must like the same thing, right? And I'm gonna leave it at that. So the bartender leaves. Maurice calls Calvin out. Calvin comes out. He asks him why is the food sitting out. He don't want no rats and roaches in the house. He tells him to clean it up. So then Calvin, they're talking about Sabrina and, they're not sure why she's mad. Honestly, Calvin, I'm gonna keep it real with you. I don't know why Sabrina's mad. I mean, I can kind of see her. Can I see it? No, I can't. I don't get why she's mad. It makes no sense to me when you literally think about it. It doesn't make a lot of sense, right? You guys are not in a commit. You guys are not in a relationship with each other. Now, yeah, it's janky that he had sex with you last night, and now he's having sex with this girl. That is a little janky, so I'll give you that. But to be mad about it, I don't get it, right? So then we move over to Karen. So Karen has made it into the salon, and bad acting Pam is there, right? Hey, Karen. So you got a client. So she was like, you got a client. And y'all, I'm distracted because this dude is picking up cans in the yard next that I'm parked at, and it's really distracting me. What are we talking about? Karen. Oh, bad acting Pam. Karen has one client in that salon today, and she's like, okay, I'll be with you in just a moment. You'll be with me in just a moment. No, ma'am, you will not. I'm here. I'm ready to pay my money. Handle me now. Actually, you guys can see him right behind the car. So, we're, okay. Karen, she goes to her office, right? And in her office, she calls Zach. Like, she looks like a bugaboo, and it's really annoying at this point, right? So then she hangs up the phone and she goes to the door, and who is at the door? Pam, eavesdropping. I'm like, I would fire Pam. I literally would fire Pam. Like, you ain't doing your job. You in my business. Get you some. You guys, I'm gonna go ahead and move on. Sorry about this. All right, you guys. So let's move over to Fatima. So Fatima notices that Zach's phone is ringing, right? And he's like, oh, it's an unknown caller, so he doesn't answer it, right? So Zach is telling Fatima that he could see himself marrying her. I'm like, wow. I'm like, this is really, really fast, right? And even Fatima said, like, we moving fast. Quick. And I'm like, exact. And the thing that I was thinking about was the fact that Zach and Karen, they just recently broke up, number one. So this is technically a rebound relationship. And then I also was thinking about the fact that, wait, what was I thinking about? Oh, it's a rebound relationship. Zach and Karen just recently broke up. And then the fact that Zach and Fatima haven't known each other that long. So that's what I was thinking. I'm like, you guys haven't even known each other any length of time. So this relationship is really moving fast. You want her to move in. I'm like, yeah, we going a little fast with this relationship, but whatever. So then we move over to Sabrina and Maurice, right? Sabrina and Maurice are down at the bank. I'm sorry. If it was me and we had just got robbed, well, they didn't get robbed. They got held at gunpoint. They didn't get robbed. QDM came in and didn't do anything. They just sat there and talked for the whole time that they were there. But if it were me personally, I would like, you know what? I'd call my boss and be like, hey, what's up? I'm saying my government name because I don't go by JB in a workspace. Hey, it's Gerald. Hey, how you doing, Gerald? I'm good. So, the bank got robbed yesterday. It did? Yeah. So guess what? What? I'm shook. I don't want to go into that bank. They didn't catch the bank robbers. So, yeah, Gerald is not coming to work today because Gerald is afraid for his life. So, you might want to go into the location yourself. Goodbye. Click. That would have been me. Because Gerald wouldn't have went. JB, he wouldn't have went. And you guys, I know people are probably be like, Gerald? Where did JB come from? My middle name and my last name. Because I go by my middle name in my personal life. But yeah, I would have called and said I'm not coming. But Maurice and Sabrina are there, right? So Maurice asked Sabrina, why did Calvin cook for her? You were there. You heard him say, I'm making dinner at 8 o'clock. You be here. I don't know if Tyler forgot that he wrote that in the script or what, but you were there. So then he asked her the greatest question alive. Why is she so mad? She said she doesn't know. But then she said she's probably is because she's jealous. Well, baby, that's a problem that you got to take up with yourself. And then Maurice tells her that she's in love with Calvin. Do you guys believe that she's in love with Calvin? Let me know in the comment section. Do you guys believe that she's in love with Calvin? I don't know, right? Because you can be jealous of someone and not be. You can be jealous and not be in love with a person, right? You can be jealous and not be in love. Like let's just say for instance you have a person that you just casually have fun with, in the bedroom, right? And you find out that and you thinking it's just you and them, you think it's just you two, and then you find out, hey, you giving that good away to somebody else, and it's not just me. You would get a little jealous, right? And that doesn't necessarily mean that you love the person. Trust me, I've been there before, but yeah, it doesn't mean that she's in love with him. But hey, we're gonna move on, you guys. All right, you guys, let's talk about, oh God, Karen. So Karen finished up with her loan client, right? And then she calls Andy on the phone. Now, see, Karen had me all the way messed up in this scene because she called Andy, right? Andy is at work. So, mind you, Andy wasn't doing it. She was just sitting at her desk. I'm like, girl, do you ever work? Like, I be looking at some of these women like, do y'all ever do any kind of work? Andy, do you ever? I mean, you won some cases. Well, I know we saw her working in that first episode, but we ain't never saw you go to court. We ain't never saw you, we ain't never saw you go to court. Well, actually, yes, we have saw her work. This case with Robin. So I'm gonna take that back. So yeah, we saw the women work, except for Danny. I ain't never saw Danny do anything at the airport. But Danny's like me, because I'm looking at Danny. Danny acts like I did at my job when I used to work for Hertz, because that's how I used to do it. I would avoid work. I hated that job. So I would be like, I'm gonna clean the cars. That wasn't my job. That wasn't part of my job title to clean them cars. But I'd rather do that than deal with them customers. One day I'm gonna give you guys a story time. But so yeah, Karen is calling Andy and she's asking Andy about Zach and Fatima. Now, in last week's episode, she told you she wants to stay out of that. And actually, with that one, I respect Andy for that one. I'd have so much respect for her, right? But I didn't respect her saying that Fatima wasn't her friend, that she was just her boss. But Karen got upset about the fact that Andy won't tell her what's going on between Zach and Fatima. First of all, Karen, that ain't your business. Secondly, why are you putting I lost one of my earrings. Oh well, it is what it is. It came out when I was asleep. It's in the house somewhere. Damn, I slept that hard? Cause I just felt my ear. What was I talking about? She's talking about, she's been her best friend since college. Okay, what that mean? Like, I'm not gonna get involved in that, because then y'all gonna have me. It's gonna be like, oh, you're my best friend, but oh, I thought we were, making a new friendship. So yeah, I wouldn't get involved in that. But Karen is so upset. Girl, go away. So then Robin comes into Andy's office telling her he's going back to London, but he would like to take her out. I'm like, God. Robin doesn't know how to take no for an answer, does he? Then she talks about Gary, talking about how Gary is a good man. I'm like, girl, where? She's a good man. He's a good man, and she loves him. But they're having some issues, but she thinks that they can work it out. Oh God! So Robin tells he's gonna keep asking something like that. That's harassment, buddy. Okay, whatever. Thirsty. Let's move on and wrap. I think we're gonna wrap up. All right, you guys. So Karen, she calls Danny on the phone. I'm like, girl, what is going on with you? So she's asking Danny if Zach is at the bank. I'm not at the bank, at the airport, right? Danny says yes. Now see, here's another inconsistency in the storyline that confuses me, right? Because I thought Zach had quit the bank. I thought Zach had quit, but Zach is at work. So Karen is asking for Danny to get her into the bank to, not in the bank, the airport to see Zach. She was like, girl, the last time I did that, it went left. You accused him of stealing money from you, and then you put his grandfather's crap everywhere. So then, she says, she's talking about the fact that she's calling him, he's not answering her, and she just wants an answer. She's like, well, Karen, girl, that's pretty much your answer right there. He's not answering you. So, and then she said, I talked to Andy, and Andy won't tell me anything about him or Fatima. And Danny was like, I agree with her. She says, but I've been y'all friends longer. That ain't got nothing to do with it. Like, Karen, that really has absolutely nothing to do with the price of tea in China. Like, girl, go. Like, girl, that ain't got nothing to do with the price of tea in China. Like, So Zach comes up to Danny. They're talking, and Karen, she asks him, has he talked to Karen? He says no, but she's been calling him, and he wishes she would stop. And Danny was like, well, why don't you just answer the phone and talk to her? Him ignoring her should give her the hint that he doesn't want to talk. So y'all y'all really want to force this man to talk to this woman that he's ignoring? I'm just baffled, right? So then let's move over to Hayden. So Hayden is in Fatima's office, right? So Hayden asked Fatima if she got her tire fixed. She's like, my tire fixed? What are you talking about? He says, you got a dent in your tire. She's like, by the rim. She's like, oh, yeah, you're right, I do. He said, yeah. She said, yeah, I got it fixed. He's like, well, I wish you had told me because I had a guy that could have done it for you. So she leaves out. He leaves out of her office. She calls him an SOB and runs into Robin. She says, it's not you I'm talking about. He says, I think I know who you're talking about, and he won't be here much longer, right? So then Robin asks Fatima, what does he have to do to be able to take Andy out? Once again, Robin, so you don't know what no means? Oh my God. It's annoying. So Fatima tells him she's seeing someone and that she's faithful. I don't care. Fatima goes back to Andy's office and tells her about Robin. Now the thing is, Andy lights up. Andy lit up when she told her about him. Andy, girl, stop playing the game. You obviously want the man for some odd reason. You want him for some reason. And you're not that happy with Gary. Girl, I don't know. So then Fatima tells Andy about, Hayden, right? Eavesdropping, knowing about this conversation that she had with her girlfriend, and that's the only person that she told about the tire, and that's because she didn't want to go to this recital. So Andy's like, well, how about you do this? The next time you're on a phone call with anybody or your friends, tell them that, you think you like him, and that, you would like it if he came into the office, more laid back, and see if he does that. So then we move over to the bank. Maurice's phone rings, and guess who it is? It's Q calling him, talking about. And Maurice says, oh, hey, baby. Hey, baby. I miss you, baby. Oh, baby. I can't stand Maurice at times. So Q says that he's sorry. He tells Maurice that he's sorry, right? You're sorry that you pulled a gun on me and all this stuff? Like, no, sir. So then he's like, where are you? He's like, I can't tell you that, Maurice. But then he says he wants Maurice to be there when he turns himself in. I'm like, huh? Okay. I'm not going any further. So then we see Zach. Zach goes over to the house, right? And when he gets to the house, the realtor is there. She's not alone. He's like, what are you doing here? Because she's like, they both ask, what are they doing there? She's there showing the house, and she's got a backup bid, right? Zach's bid has gone through, and, he just wants to see the house. Now, if his bid went through, why do you have a backup bid? That was confusing to me. If his bid went through, why do you need a backup bid? And who might the backup bid be? You've guessed it. That nutcase Hayden. That's the episode, you guys. Let me know what you guys thought about the episode. Leave your comments in the comment section below. Subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell button so you guys are notified of when I drop anything else. Share the video and enter the next one. You guys stay safe out there. Take care of yourselves. Remember to wash your hands, wear masks, socially distance, be blessed, and I'm going to catch you guys in the next one. Peace.